Guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 house building video. Today we're in Selva Dorada once more doing another little rental home. So this is going to be a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom place with a swimming pool. I thought it would be a nice idea to just have a smaller vacation spot that was really nice, really decorated, beautifully up to my kind of standards. Although I believe the rental price is still pretty cheap. I think it ends up being $410 per day, which is not too bad compared to some of the other places. I think, what is the cheapest one? The cheapest might be like 300 and something. So it's not the cheapest, I don't think, but it's the best. Well, no, it's not, maybe not the best, but it's pretty good. So I thought the idea for this one was I really wanted to do some sort of almost like jungle, just like what did I call this? Jungle Cabana or something like that? It was something along those lines. It's kind of like that. I really wanted it to feel very open and part of the jungle, but also, still being able to close it. I also wanted to use a lot of the stuff from Jungle Adventure, such as the new tiles, the new stairs, the new roof, for example. I try to use a lot of the new stuff pretty much as possible. And then obviously there's some other items here and there. So it is just a nice big octagonal build. Well, not big, but a nice octagonal build. And there is one beautiful gem in this build as well, which you'll see in a little bit once we get around to it. So here I was trying to figure out, what kind of wallpaper do we want here? I decided to keep it simple, go for that sort of plain concrete stucco kind of wall. Got the brand new door in here. So because this is a octagonal build, it did present some interesting challenges with the layout, which we'll see here. Well, here's the first bit. Here's the gem. The whole gem of the build, by the way, the outhouse. Oh, that's right. We put the bathroom completely outside of the little house. So you have to go outside, walk across to the bathroom, and that's where you're going to be going. I thought it'd be fine. I thought it'd be fine because it's The Sims. Also, it's just there. It's all undercover. You can get to it. Also, we really didn't have room inside this area here. So, as I mentioned with the windows, if you ever did watch my build by overview of the Jungle Adventure pack, we have those new shutter windows that have the little fences, which are great. And I actually really love them. But the ones that are open take up 3 tiles, and the closed windows only take up 2 tiles. Which turns out to be really useful for this particular build, because that meant we could have some closed windows on the diagonals, the open ones on the sort of straight walls, and then it worked really nicely. So we have all these windows that some of them are open, some of them are closed. And it goes all the way around this little octagonal build. So it could feel like it's really open, or it could feel like it's a little bit more closed off, a little bit more private if you wanted it to be. And then we just do some nice little flowers around it. Look at that. And I decided to do those tiles throughout the entire build, like the floor tiles all throughout it, just for a continuous kind of feel. So it all just stretches across. Then I believe we do like a rug here or there. So now I had to figure out what I wanted to do with this layout, because I wanted to have like a full kitchen and a little living space as well in this build, to make sure that you could actually come here and stay here and not have to worry about any of the needs or going anywhere else. Like, there's no point. What's the point of renting a place if you can't actually stay there and get your needs back up? So I made sure that was possible by just testing how the bed is going to fit in and how the kitchen will fit in. So in a way, there's almost like a tiny build as well, but it's a rental property, so I feel like it's a little bit different. I also made sure to play test this at the end of it. It's not in this video, but there were, I believe I put a light in later on, which I guess we'll see, but it actually made it so you couldn't get around the build because I scaled the light down. Didn't realize Sims couldn't walk under that light normally, so it took me a while to figure that out, then I fixed it. So in the downloaded version, it should be fine. I think in the screenshots, it is different and not fully working, but it's there nonetheless. So we went with this kitchen, all a Jungle Adventure stuff here. The new counters, new appliances there, new fridge and stove. Went for that. Did I leave it the lime color? I had a little bit of fun with it. The sort of one, actually not lime, it's more of a teal, isn't it? That sort of teal kind of color with the orange. I thought it looked pretty good. And then just getting in these, trying to place because this whole kitchen's on a diagonal, actually, trying to place all this stuff in the right spot was kind of interesting. And I decided that I was like, we probably should have a sink in the kitchen area, because otherwise you're going to have to go outside to the bathroom to use the sink. Because normally in a tiny build, I wouldn't worry too much about having a sink in the kitchen or not. And I didn't really want to put the sink next to the stove. And I didn't want to move the stove to either side of the cabinet. So I was like, okay, well, we can probably get a sink in just around the corner, because we have these 2 little weird corner cutouts that we can actually fit it in. And here I was just making sure that we could fit in a sofa and dining table and all that. And surprisingly, it actually all does fit, which is quite good. So we have the little dining section just here. Now, if you think about this realistically, those shutters are never going to be able to be closed with the current layout. You're going to have to move stuff around to close your shutters. But again, it's a Sims, and they also don't close. So it's fine. You have to take, a little bit of creative liberties there to just, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So when I put in this light in just a second, eventually, no mind, I haven't done it yet. I'll do it in a minute, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more. So we have that nice range hood there. So this light here, actually, from Cats and Dogs, I was like, I love that light. It's a little too big, so I scaled it down. Did not realize that Sims could not walk under that. Until I play tested it, and then my sim couldn't. I was like, why can't my sim get on the couch? Like, they for some reason could not sit on the couch, and I was like, this makes no sense. There's so much room. This should work without a problem. Eventually it turned out to be that light. So if you scale that light down, heads up, it might be an issue. Might be an issue. Did not realize that, but I did fix it. So the download should be all good, which, by the way, link in the description down below if you want to check it out. Follow the link through to the gallery, or you can just search for it with my Origin ID, which is just The Sim Supply, all one word, and you can find it there. So I managed to fit in the little couch here, and we also get a coffee table with the TV on it, and then I do a bookcase behind it as almost like a little room divider, because it is such a small space, but I do want to break it up a little bit. It's kind of funny how big the front door is, though. It's huge. Like, it's a 3-tile front door. I mean, it's technically like a double front door, but it fits so well in that space, like I couldn't not use it. So I ended up using that door, and it all works. Like, you can get in that door no problem, and it doesn't have any issues, and all that sort of stuff there works. And here is where I was trying to figure out how to do the sink, and it turns out could fit the sink in just around the corner there, and it worked without an issue as well. So that was really, really handy. I was glad that worked. Otherwise, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna. Well, first of all, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with that corner, or with where to put a sink, but the sink and the bin work perfectly right there. So, oh, by the way, there's a bin in this build, so did not forget that. I decided to see if that sort of matching sink would work, and it didn't really fit, so instead I used this other one from Jungle Adventure instead. And then I used a couple of wall lights there, which I just sort of blended in with the wall color to sort of, because any other lighting there looked a little strange, so use those wall lights. It actually worked out quite well. And then we have the double bedroom, which works perfectly as well. You can get 2 Sims in there, no worries. This whole build is very, very orange, very green, very, there's lots of teals and blues and stuff in here as well. So if you're not a fan of those colors, you might not want to stay here. Though if you are, and you want the full jungle experience, this is where you come. You come to the Jungle Cabana. Is that what I called it? I think so. I don't remember. I built this a couple of days ago, actually, so I don't entirely remember. But anyway, keeping the furnishing pretty simple in here. Just get it is a rental property, so we got the sort of the bed, the dresser, side table, and a little chair there. And then just, I think, a potted plant right there in the corner. And I think that's kind of all I did, because I was like, we don't really need much else in there. Maybe a lamp? No, I don't think I did a lamp. I was like, I want to put that lamp somewhere, and it didn't fit. But I was like, you know what? That's pretty good. So moving to the beautiful outhouse now. We do actually, I think we do fit a tub in here. I think we have a shower, tub, and toilet. So we actually get a full bathroom set, which is really, really good. So you can get it all in there. And I think, and we do have a sink and a toilet too, I believe. Yes, good. Good. All right, so that goes in there. That's looking good. Yeah, I just didn't want to try and squish this bathroom into the main build, and I was like, I didn't really know how else to do it, so we kind of just put it over here. And I think it actually fits in really well with the architecture of the place. Well, I say architecture, but it's just an octagon with the bathroom stuck on the side. But it looks pretty cool. I think it works out pretty well. I really wanted to use those laundry day stuffed shelves, but it didn't make any sense, especially because one of them had an iron sitting on it. And I didn't really want an iron sitting on a shelf over the bathtub. That seemed a little not great, not like a great idea at all. So I decided not to do that. Now, when I did I think it was, which house did I do? The $300,000 luxury house build? Maybe it was that one, or was it was one of those, but you guys were like, if I want to put plants, no, it was the jungle build house that I did last time, actually, the modern jungle home. You guys were just like, hey, put the foundation down, place the plants first, then put the foundation back up, and then they'll stay on the ground, which I found out is true if most of the plant is on. So if you have the majority of the footprint of the plant on the terrain, it'll stay at the bottom. If the majority of the footprint is on the top, you see it'll pop right up. So that was all a little learning process, but it's super handy tip. So thank you everyone that shared that with me in the comments of that build, because that made it a lot easier. So you can see if I just move them to the correct spots now, they sort of stay down the bottom, which is really, really handy. And then I sort of just fine-tuned it all a little bit. And then we have all these nice plants that are growing around the little cabana here, which I don't know, I really like the look of this place. I think it looks awesome. I I don't know. It's just man. It's just something about tropical plants. I love the look of all the plants everywhere, and it was the same. And I think I mentioned this before as well. It's the same in The Sims 2, like Bon Voyage. So I love that pack because it came with so many ferns and like tropical plants and all of that, and it just looks so good. Just putting plants everywhere looks so good. I don't know what it is. I just love plants. It looks great. And so we're just getting some more little decorations here because it's a pretty simple build. Like the actual build itself is pretty simple. So we're doing a lot of work on the landscaping here. Just some flowers and that growing up that little wall there, and a bunch of long grasses everywhere. Then I was like, we got this huge garden out the back, so probably should do something with it. So we did a little swimming pool here, which I guess you could imagine was like maybe like a little man-made lake kind of thing, or maybe it was a lake that they turned into a swimming hole. But we kept it pretty simple, just a nice little rectangle with some tiles around it. And then I also wanted to create like a little shaded sitting area around the back. And I thought an archaeology table would probably be pretty useful for this area. So decided to put one of those in too. I was looking for any other sort of related items that would be good for this area. And I thought, just like a couple of seats around the place would probably be pretty useful. Little benches to sit out and look across the jungle, enjoy the vacation that you're on. And then I do set up a little shaded lounge area in a minute too. Because I was like, that'd be a pretty good idea to sort of sit out here by the pool in the shade, enjoying the atmosphere. And I thought as well, this dining table here, so you could come out, eat some breakfast, eat some lunch, enjoy it outside, would be quite nice. Trying to find good outdoor chairs to go with this, though, I don't know, I found kind of interesting in the end. I guess I just went with those ones because like there wasn't really any chairs that screamed these feel right. None of them were like, these feel right, but those did, I guess. Well, they were close enough anyway. And I thought I'd just do a couple of these little outdoor lights around the pool. I thought we should probably brighten it up a little bit. Just have a few little lights. Same with the pool itself, because I could imagine it, getting dark and you're like, hey, let's go for a little bit of a night swim. So put some lights here and there, and then around the front. And I don't know if I do it in the time lapse, but I definitely do add an outdoor bin. So there's an exterior bin as well, so you can empty the trash. I don't know if I show it in the time lapse or not, but anyway, doing a little bit of landscaping here, or not landscape, a little bit of terrain painting. And then I think I eventually decide I think I'm just finding a few more like little items, little pots to put around the place. Then this is where I realized it's like, oh yeah, we have this cool new sort of shade item. So I scaled down a couple of those, joined them together, and then just put some floor tiles under it, and then I actually get two couches and just put them out here because I was like, you know what, this would be sweet. Just sitting under here, enjoying the day, relaxing, get a nice bevy, sit there, enjoy the pool, go for a swim, sit up there again. I think it'd be a pretty good place to sit. It's just a nice little atmosphere. You get that little, whatever that table is that has, is it like a little coal thing in it or something? I don't know. It lights up at night and it looks cool. So using those little flowery fern things as well, they look like it's sort of growing up the logs. So I was like, that works out quite nicely. And then I wanted a little bit more light. So I put a couple more of those portable lights around the place too, just to finish it off. But here we are in the screenshots, and you can see what the place looks like. And I think it blends in really well. It's definitely got the sort of color scheme of a more Central and South American build, and it sort of obviously blends in the jungle with all the plants and ferns and that. I mean, look at this. I love this view here of the pool and those sofas, just looking straight out there. And we've got quite a few shots of the outside. I think the most of this build comes together on the exterior, especially because you can see the interior through those open windows. I mean, look at this place. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I would totally say that. I would absolutely do it. So this is the interior space here. There's the dining room and the lounge room all in one. You can see the kitchen there on the left and how it all sort of fits in together. Like I said, I did actually play test this, so it does all work, thankfully. There's the bedroom. I thought that looked pretty cool because you can see through the window. And there's the interior of it, and you can see out through to the jungle as well. Did play test this all. It all does work, which is very, very handy. And if you do want to download this, like I said earlier, the link will be in the description down below, or you can search the Sim Supply on the gallery and find it there. But thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to check out some other videos, there's some stuff on screen now that you can go ahead and watch, and you can subscribe if you haven't, because you probably should. But that's all from me for this time. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.